You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So, I'm just sitting here and getting ready to do some more of the hard work that I have to do in order to be prepared for June the 18th. That is the day. That is the day we launch in a large way, and like a more public way. You know, the campaign. Uh, we've got an ambitious that day planned that we will that we're actually gonna do a campaign rally near my house at a park, and then right after that we're heading straight over to downtown or wherever Trump is doing his rally, and we're gonna send buses to pick up our supporters. We're gonna bus them over, and we are going to have a protest rally in the name of humanity, in the name of the state of our humanity in this country and what this campaign is fighting for. I'm the humanities candidate. Of course we got to fight for the right thing. I am your humanities candidate, right? That's right. And it takes perspective. You know, and it's not about and you know, for me, it's never ever going to be about trying to compete with the other condescending candidates, not for your happy healer. You know, if it, that's right, bro. You know, and I talked to a lot of people about this. So many people, after talking to their happy healer, realize they're talking to somebody that can actually figure them out. And that's what they care about. They want to know that someone has figured them out, and then they can have faith. Even somebody who's relatively unknown, they look at you and say, Mr. President, I'm ready. Because they get it. And all that means is we have the right ideas. That's exactly right. And so we're turning 8-second warriors whose primary role in life prior to being touched by the happy healer and realizing what we're working for is that the man is telling them, hey, you've got to put your 40 hours of work in every single week. That is your purpose in life. Without that, you have no value. Whereas the happy healer would remind him, wait a second, don't you get your purpose and value from our creator? Doesn't that come with life? So, oh yeah. Yeah, they're going to love their happy healer for sure, man. And by the way, I'm going on live right now because I'm overdue. So why don't you stick on with me, man, and help me have a cool little live show, and I'm gonna try and help folks understand what I'm working towards, and you could be in the background and speak up and whatever, like a conversation. Yeah. So, okay, we can do that. We can just like yawn and then put people on there. All right, then that's what we're doing. I'll call your show sometime. Yeah, just whenever. Yeah, exactly. You've got the number. And other people, you know, you're welcome to call in. What we're doing here, it is for the people. We are working for the people. This is an effort for the people. And we are a genuine, serious candidacy for the presidency. And I'm not your condescending candidate. I'm not your condescending candidate. I am your loving candidate. And I am here to be the way and answer forward that we have all been looking for, the humble servant of the people and the people's candidate, not your condescending candidate. We have those and know who they are. That will never be your happy healer. So I will take the role of the happy healer in this regard. Yes, I'm Keith Landy. That's right. You know, in today's environment, I think people are ready.
Everybody would be like, you know, what would Happy Healer think? What would Happy Healer think? You know?
Well, when you have the right actions and the right values, and they come
Yeah.
together, and you're basing it on truth, people respond to that. And that's what the Happy Healer and this campaign is all about. When I set upon this campaign, I knew that there would be tough questions to answer, but that God is the one who provides us the answer to those and our inner humanity. And so that is the platform that we are on. This is the culmination of many years of meditation, my brother, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, man,
Yeah. It's a combination of many different things.
it is. And so many people, why do you think it is? Because I just sit here and I espouse the truth and I just talk about the things that I know matter to each one of us. And what I love to do is I love to get supporters on the phone and I love to find out, or even in person, and find out what motivates them to get on board with this campaign, because this is really spectacular. I am just another American that people actually can see and believe as being their president based on our ideas. It's just so amazing. What I wanted to know, what did you think is causing that?
I think there's a lot of things. I think bad vibration, bad vibes. What do we get? And it's like, it's made for the people not to hate.
Right. Yeah, you're a little hard to hear for some reason on through the system, but I can hear you. Yeah,
Other people.
yeah,
I mean, they're doing bad stuff as well, you know?
exactly. That's the truth. They're not working for the people. They've been doing bad stuff and actually been trying to hide it over the people's eyes. And it's just so clear what that stuff is. We can afford to take care of people right now. It's not like in the past. We can actually really do it. You know, why can't we do it? I would challenge you, really. Look at me in the eye and please explain to me, why can't we take care of each other? Especially in America. We've got that ability. Why can't we do that? Yes, we can. Why can't we? And what does being the humanity candidate mean? It means all things humanity. You know, I want you to have time to spend with your families. I want you to be able to be with your wives and with your husbands and with your children. I want you to spend time with your parents. Why? Because time is not to be considered in place of money. Time is so much more valuable than money, and we have to value human time too. And we have to value humanity. And so yeah, it's so true.
We have to value human.
We have to value humanity. And that's where we've been getting it wrong. That's why I say, as the Happy Healer, I'm your only humanities candidate, that I'm a strong, steadfast leader in that way, but that I'm trusted and fair. Granted, I'll be the first to say that I have my ways about me that are perhaps different and unique. But aren't we all? I'm your gay Happy Healer too in that regard. But one thing is for sure, I love God with all of my might. I have faith in the human spirit, and the human value comes from our spirit, our Holy Spirit, our divine, and that we have a creator who loves us. And to me, it feels just so obvious when you see all of the gifts just sitting here, when you see in this reality we call life, you see that we are the head honchos, that it's us who seem to be the most important on this earth, even though everybody is important, even all life.
It's us who are in control. It just seems to me to be that God has chosen his favorite. And it also seems to me to be that God has set us all up for amazing things. We just have to have faith. And that AI is being one of those things. And that robots are another. And that together we can allow a future if we're brave enough and we come into what the Happy Healer is billing as the spiritual new realm, coupled with the industrial mechanized industry, which is soon to follow, because that is basically what our promise is, that we can have a new economy that serves people. That's basically what people clamoring for the Green New Deal are looking for. Well, they're a little bit off base, quite frankly, and wouldn't solve the problems that we need, nor would it unite our country. But the Happy Healer's plan would do exactly all of those things. First off, I am running as a Democrat candidate for President of the United States. But first, everyone should always know I'm an American first. I voted for Trump in the last election. I have no ill feelings towards anyone. I hate no one. This is a time for love. Love can win, and love can be fierce. You don't have to be somebody who loses if you love. Love, God is love, and leaves so much room for winning in the area of love. And we have to seek truth. And I speak to my Republican friends. I say, God is truth. And God is both truth and love. We have to seek truth and love as we brave the new world, as we realize what we're all fighting for. And yes, we have to take care of humanity. And that you can't say you're taking care of humanity if you leave people without health coverage. That we have to cover our citizens. I've seen family and friends and many hundreds of thousands of people die because they don't have health care, and it's happening year after year. We can't allow the continued human suffering because of our unwillingness to have the courage to do what is right in our time, the year 2019.
We just got cut off.
Huh?
We got a pilot sitting there at 1 o'clock, everybody.
Yeah, welcome. So it is that we go into that future with a bold attitude. You are live also on the Happy Healer for President website. And all of our channels we go live on, which right now there are 10 of them, and they're just spread all throughout the internet. And we have our loyal following, and it's people who love. And we have this June 18th to look forward to. We are stepping up where it matters. We are going to be doing our very first rally right here at the park near my house. We're going to do a march to the park. We're going to do the rally. And granted, we get a few buses, however many people it takes, to get our supporters to move over to where the Trump rally is being held, which is on the same day right here in Orlando. And we will then do a protest rally, and we'll preach to those Trump supporters. Because let me tell you, there is nobody who I love as much as I love all people, but in that then also must include Trump supporters, right? And Trump supporters are not Trump supporters. They're human beings. So don't even refer to them like that. If anything, they'll be Happy Healer supporters very soon, for sure. Because they love God just as much as I do. And the future that we're talking about is the future they'll recognize also as being pure truth from the people's candidate. That's right. We're all of the people here. It's just so true, isn't it?
So when did you first realize that you're so beautiful?
Oh man, I would say on the inside when I had my spiritual awakening, really realizing the true value in the human being is within its intrinsic value. It's the fact that when you have values at all, and morals, and a belief system, and faith in a higher being, a creator, that changes everything. So I realized that I was most beautiful on the day that I realized how important I was and how much value and self-purpose I had. And that was when my faith was concrete, and that I realized in the truth of God's existence that my existence was also that much greater. And so that's when I realized how beautiful I was. How about you, man? When did you realize how beautiful you are?
I think when I was 12, I looked at the mirror and I thought, well, I'm really not a bad looking guy.
That's right.
You know, I always had people, well, no, I'm really not a bad looking guy.
You're not. You're not. So that's the stuff I'm coming in talking about. And guys, we have some really interesting things also to bring up, and to just keep things going that are important, because there's so much going on and a lot of exciting things. So I wasn't able to make it on yesterday. I've been busy. I'm doing my community service work, that I've got people here that I care about. Actually, I try and improve the circumstances and conditions of the lives around me, the people that I can affect most in my life. And so that is a priority. So I've been busy. Running for president takes a little bit of time as well. And we're getting prepared for a big rally on the 18th of June. But make no mistake about it, I've also been getting my systems going, which the new iMac in the studio and systems are pretty much full capacity. So you're going to be seeing some amazing art to back these amazing messages. And that's part of also how we're running. And make no mistake about it, when you find yourself as the American people and thrust into such a position where you could actually talk as a serious presidential contender in the mind of other Americans, that is a sign. Remember, if one goes and can see it and can see the beauty in it, another one can also. And we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So you imagine how it's going to be after the masses finally hear our message and we make our candidacy known on the 18th of June when I announce publicly. So that'll be a great thing. And of course, that's outside of social media, which you only get so much attention on social media unless you are spending a lot of money on advertising, or which we've spent zero money on advertising just because it hasn't been in our budget. But we are talking about the truth, and we have had some very close friends who, yes, even believe enough to have donated to the campaign. And so that has been able to keep us as to where we are now. But yep, we definitely need people who care and love and support this message and the things that we're doing. For example, on June 18th, win, lose, or draw, they would like to see somebody challenging Trump. Some people would love that. Other people would love somebody who's just so passionate, like your HappyHealer is, talking about the values that we represent and that we're in it to win it. So it's a great place to get known. And so, in talking to Americans right there, and those are Trump supporters, I want to show the world that I can turn Trump supporters. I can turn them. By the world, I do mean our world in America. I want to show America we can change the human mind for the human values. We don't even get married to just an individual when we realize there's hundreds of millions of Americans that are at stake, their lives in the future, and that hate has been governing things, and that we need love, and that all of the things that your HappyHealer talks about. And then on top of this, who is Donald Trump? We're going to be talking about these things. Think about it. Just incredible about some of the things he does do. And I don't want to get into a negative atmosphere this evening, but we are about truth. One thing I always say is if you're going to be living your life with love, you have to mirror it with truth, or you'll never give love the chance it deserves to win. You got to have truth on love's side. But if you put truth and love together, then you got a great winning combination. And that's just how we're going to win in our country. Make no mistake about it. And that's so much winning. You have no idea. And it's all clean winning. And that is really what this country should have been having had for a long time. We have been capable of doing so much more for the people of this country. It's almost unfathomable that we haven't been. And the fact that we're talking about foregoing technology in place of human labor is offensive to the people who are stuck doing that human labor, because it's never them who said they preferred that. They would much prefer, just like the rich man or the affluent man, they would love to be able to pursue their dreams. What if their dreams are to pursue God, but they can't because they're pursuing the toils of your factory? But at a time in a history in 2019 when we can afford to employ robots to do those monotonous jobs and collect trash and do things that otherwise we can free up even that much more humanity to focus on being loving human beings to improve our surroundings. You want to ask the Happy Healer, well, who's going to pay for that, and how do I benefit from it? Well, we all pay for it, and we all benefit from a better world. And quite frankly, that's what the people want. They will accept nothing less. It's how Donald Trump got in office, and it's also how your Happy Healer is going to get there. And it's also what brought the new Green Deal even to the forefront of the discussion, because it has no point being there. It's not the right prescription. But what the Happy Healer is talking about is we can get this stuff done. We don't have to do it with hate. We can win with love. And we are going to be talking about the things that penetrate the soul, because it's what matters to us most. While everybody else is trying to confuse you and sow discord and distrust, well, your Happy Healer is going to unite and remind America what we are truly about, and that as the people's candidate, that nobody else was doing it, had to step up, and well, then that the American people together will step up, and that we will do what is required of us in this time to take care of Americans, that we can truly lead this world in a way that we have led in the past, that we have not led in recent times. And that is to say that we can lead by example. We can show a new way of living where the future is headed. Make no mistake about it, my fellow Americans, ladies and gentlemen, folks, just look at the facts. China is getting ready for this brave new world. Other countries, India, they're getting ready for this brave new world. They're far underway. And America has no reason to find itself second, third, or fourth in a race that America, by definition, defined from the beginning. We need to take the bullhorns, and it's the American people, and it's the American people's ingenuity that made all of this possible for the American people. It's the politicians taking it from the American people, and it's Donald Trump putting you back in the factories. The Happy Healer wants to free you. He wants to get you back with your families. He wants you to have health care. And when he says that, he means eyes, he means teeth. He wants you to have babies, not to kill them, because he says you don't have to be free to work. You have to be free to raise a family. It's all about values and human values. Guys, this is exactly what we have not been putting first. This is why so many of us have been just clamoring for a better world, why so many more have having take a sad way out, suicide. We've seen others just recently burning themselves alive in the nation's capital. I mean, and all we can see is more division in the future. It's just so scary. And that to think the next 2 years is going to be that way no matter how you add it up, well, maybe not if the Happy Healer is running for president, and he is. Are you going to support him? Well, I think you owe it to yourself to. And considering that none of us want a civil war, and that's where they're taking us, I am the only viable candidate in this race for president. If you want to see a country and you want to see the humanity within this country happy, and that you want to see our country unified, how can even a Trump supporter honestly look at another Trump supporter who voted for Trump, and I love Trump, and to so look at the Trump supporter and to tell me that we're a stronger nation now than as if we were united? Can you imagine if we had anything other than the strong numbers? For example, just a few bad months. I mean, we're already splintered in every sense of the word. We need a strong, united country. I have to also ask you, do you see our beloved Trump doing that for us? I hoped he would. That's why I voted for him. And I also trusted when he said he'd give health care for all, which he has no intention of doing. And he said so. Now, of course, he said it now. Too bad he didn't say it before all of the moderates like myself voted for him, right? Well, that's okay, because disingenuous politicians that live way up here and that are condescending, looking down on us, are nothing new. We're used to that. And, well, it didn't mean much to us that they were so condescending or considered themselves way better than us, as so long as at least we got our crumbs and can live the American dream, at least to the extent that they were selling it to us. But we couldn't even have that. And it became more lies. And now we can't go any further. We've hit a dead end, haven't we? This is a time like no other time in history. A time when the world is screaming, even the very earth is screaming for change. The people in this country are screaming for change. Your happy healer is screaming for change too, because even as a happy guy, and he's done so much, and he's been through so many experiences, and I'm eager to share those experiences that have helped prepare him for this duty and solemn duty. That's how he sees it, to help humanity, and we all have to be on board for that goal. Otherwise, we may not have a future to be able to fight for, or the freedoms to be able to do the fighting, or a future worth having for our children. All noble causes that we have to dig our feet in the ground, and we have to get serious and motivated, and we have to look squarely at power. And right now, that is Trump. And let me tell you something. I just want to come out like some of the other Democratic candidates for president of the United States, and I want to make something clear based on the Mueller situation, the report. Ladies and gentlemen, I am ready to move on past that. We have got bigger issues to take care of in this country. The division and discord, this is behind us. The Happy Healer is talking about unity and moving forward. So that's where we're headed. Sorry, just a few words.
HappyHealer, when did you first decide to run for presidency?
Well, it has become so obviously clear to me. Throughout my life, I'll be honest, I always thought to myself that I'd have the intellect and brains to be such a great leader in that way, but never thought of it like I didn't live a life towards it like our condescending candidates have. But something innately, almost otherworldly, like my experiences, the nature of them coming together, the fact that I'm gay, so I don't have a partner or kids, that I'm so dedicated to the causes in my life, that I'm so passionate about them, that I've just fell into this place where I'm at in life that's brought me to this area where now I stand before you as a candidate for president of the United States. And so I guess it's our journey, my brother. And so even though when I was growing up as a gay child and felt so alone, those times meant something then and are actually meaning something now too. And it's funny, our experiences are our fate. And all we're talking about is a future where we are free to live our fate. If your fate is to love God with all your might, you ought to be free to be able to do that. And you are not free to do that if you are on the streets or if you can't have sustenance to survive, because this society is not going to allow you to survive in that way. I mean, if you look at it, right, and just be honest as to who we are as a people, if you look at it, back in even 1,000 years ago, you would have, villagers that can easily just live a simple life, live off the land. We can't have that now? You got to be kidding me. You mean the only way to be able to have your sustenance that delivers life, let's say if you just wanted to be a monk in life, if that was your dream and your fate, and that's how you can contribute most to humanity, that in order to do that, you have to toil so hard. And it's just getting harder for so many people. I mean, look at the people who have to work 80 hours just to survive. And then you wonder why there's death and killing and people just losing their hearts and minds, and the wretched misery is causing it. So that's why we have to fix that. And people are especially resentful about it because there is all of this hate. And the fact that they know that we can provide this kind of future in life to ourselves, our children, that we can do it now, that there's no excuse that we can't, that they're going mad over, essentially. And then you have nefarious forces, people that come in and try and confuse you. And, I've had already supporters tell me, hey, you've got to touch on what the other candidates are talking about. I said, no, Just because I'm the only one talking about what matters, it doesn't mean that I need to then veer off to what all the other candidates are talking about. As it currently stands, I'm the only qualified candidate in this race as an unknown, because all of the other candidates simply are not talking about what matters to us, our future. They're just trying to get us fixated on all these things that don't matter. And the Happy Healer would be blessed by God to be in front of any one of those condescending candidates, all the way from Trump on down, and to be able to express on behalf of the American people as the people's candidate our frustration and their lack of doing our bidding and providing us the life that they can in the year 2019. It's unacceptable. We're humanity. We deserve it.
Yeah, I agree. You're a man for the people.
Yeah, man. And so who did you support in last election?
I support Donald Trump.
Okay. Who do you support in the next one?
HappyHealer.
That's right. Well, it's a common theme. A lot of Trump supporters, they just love that. And so do a lot of Democrats. And why can't we just have it the way it's supposed to be? Like, why, for my friends who believe in God, we don't have to die to have a happy life. We can have a happy life now, and God wants that for us. And that we can believe and we can be optimistic and have hope, and that we can take care of humanity in a real way. I'm not saying that we should jump on abortions. I'm the Democrat that says we need to pull back on that we need to put humanity first. And please don't be the Republican that says we can't take care of humanity after they're born and need health care. We need to take care of humanity. We all just have to pull back a little bit. We have to let the love we have for each other come out, and that the hate is just a cancer. It does no good. Realize your Happy Healer has no hate. Through all of this, I will be a happy, loving person. Truth will work. I'll have to say truth about Trump if I'm in the position. I will speak truth. But this is truth, and that's all it is. And truth has to be respected. And truth is where we'll get to the promised land. If we don't have truth in our lives, no matter how loving we are, our love will be forsaken, and our truth will be fleeting, and our futures will be dark and bleak. Your Happy Healer is going to fix that. And Democrats, you need the Happy Healer more than he even needs you in this way. I guess God is sending you me, because the truth of the matter is I'm happy already. I don't need this, except for is that I want to live in a happier environment, and that I know we can have it, and that I have the skills that God and that the situation and that life itself, and that my journeys and my experiences, whether it was the 6 months I spent in Germany, ja, ich spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch und alles klar, also, das ist super. Genau. Yeah, so it's just no matter what you are doing and what it is that your Happy Healer has done in that regard, I really feel that my journey has uniquely set me up to be able to offer my fellow humanity something greater. So if I were to sit aside in that time, well, then shame on me in that way, right? Because I can do so much more. And all of us really in that way need to be thinking exactly like that. It's not about anybody. We're not trying to replace our condescending candidates. This is about putting the people's candidate forward, and by putting humanity on a pedestal, and by allowing America to show the rest of the world and to lead once again on what it's really like to provide the American dream. The American dream in our time. It's great stuff, though. And it's all truth that is just simple truth. Your Happy Healer keeps it simple. The truth works. Love works. That's why I use both. That's why I waste my time with nil hate. I have no hate for anyone. Hate is a waste of time and a waste of energy. That's why our country needs to get over it quick. So that we can be the strongest we can and usher in the brave, new, spiritual, new realm, and the new industrial, mechanized economy that's going to deliver just so many new and innovative technologies and things that are already here, just putting the plan in place and executing the plan. And that is just simple business economics. We are going to make this happen. There is the necessity. There are the people. There are the people who are worked up enough to create this candidacy and fashionable candidacy, because no other candidate has ever done it before. We are using media to get the message of love and to get this message out there, and we are using our smarts. Why do you think we switched our campaign from the 14th, which was Flag Day, and had its meeting, and we'll do something special on that day? Happy Healer always has his flag nearby. Your president for campaign for president, Happy Healer, that is your candidate, always has his flag nearby. And so we're just ready to break through. And, I'm courageous in this. I go into it without fear. You know why there's no fear? It's because I just love God. I just love God. So why do I have to fear anything? We're doing the right thing here. We're trying to fix the problem that these guys broke. They should have fear, not the good people. That's why we're trying to do good work. And we're going to protest that. So if you want to help and you want to see that message in front of Trump supporters on the 18th, right here in Orlando, propelling the Happy Healer for President candidacy and perhaps propelling humanity into a better place, well, then you know what campaign you need to be helping, getting organized with, donating to, and that is your Happy Healer for President 2020. So don't waste time. Go to www.happyhealerforpresident.com. Get familiar with the issues. Challenge your Happy Healer, because we have work to do. And we are serious about doing it. Because you matter, because I matter, because our families matter, because our children matter, because our parents matter so incredibly much. Okay, and it's always just going to be that way then, isn't it? That's just the way your Happy Healer is. And Chris, you're familiar with me. This is something I've been doing for a long time, hasn't it? And always trying to just change the world just around us. And now look at what we're trying to do now. Just because we know we have the right ideas and that nobody else is doing it. If this is the best we have, we're going to A, lose against Trump, and then B, that means the division. No other Democrat can win against Trump, first off. You already know that too, right? Everybody knows that. That's why they're trying to impeach him. But they don't have to go for this reckless impeachment. Stop that nonsense. We are going to win, folks. We are going to win. What'd you say?
What are you going to do different?
Oh man, you know me. I'm going to inspire and just spend so much time lifting people up. I'm going to be out rallying when... What? I'm going to be out visiting America. I'm going to be in the cities. I'm not even going to spend so much time in D.C. I'm going to be changing America from the roots. We've got to actually do so much work. I mean, legislatively, there's so much to get done in Washington, D.C., and I'll have my people there. We've got to, first off, get health care for all. We've got to take care of businesses, take care of our current economy. And, those are the systems and places that's been in standard and ways of working forever and for so long. We've got to keep those things healthy. I mean, the fact of it is we're going to be taking a step into the new world, or we're going to fail stepping into the new world. That's our goal. That's our mission. That's our task before us. Or we just are going to have to go towards this civil war with bravery and hope for the best. And I don't think that's a future we can count on, man. I really don't. I think we have to have the feelings like how the folks had in World War II leading up to it. They knew that they had to make just so many sacrifices to meet their times. And we have to do the same now.
It's like, I bought home from Gate,
I can't hear you too well. But hey, Chris, hang on just a moment because I'm going to go ahead and close this out for right now. I'll be back on again and try and spend more time with you guys. And I have a lot of projects in the work, but realize this is so true. I am so incredibly busy with everything going on. Just try to get involved. I'm such a great, writer in putting together the material that we need. And I'm so busy with that stuff, and building our team to be successful. And we just have so much work to do. And it's all positive work. We're not trying to do anything negative here because we need almost kid gloves in the situation where we're at now. People have just gone so deep into such a negative place, and the damage might be so grave it might take so long to come out of because of the hatred. And that's the part where I really think this country needs happy healing. Give it a chance. Go to Trump said, what did you have to lose? And he became president. I asked, what do you have to lose? And now you've got everything to lose. Go to www.happyhealerforpresident.com and look at all of the things we're talking about and continue following it because it's evolving and there's so much more to get up there. And so just continue to stay clued in. And also, I have some amazing, amazing podcasts to get out. I'll be getting those out to you. So I have been staying busy. It's interview podcasts with other people I'm giving speeches, just different things. And just really promoting what our candidacy is for, of, and by the people. All right, folks, I'm Keith Landy, your Happy Healer for President 2020 from the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. God bless you guys, and we'll see you soon right back here on the website, as well as all of our streaming channels. Take care. And thanks so much for being on, my brother.
Love you.
I love you too, my man. We're fighting for a future worth living. Okay, peace out. Take care, folks. And you will see your Happy Healer for President right back here soon.